Good morning, and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Saxe, this December 13, 2020. Let's take a deep breath and prepare ourselves for service. Breathe in and exhale. Breathe in again. Exhale. Relaxing the body, relaxing the mind. Continuing to breathe, noting where there is tension in the body. Tense that area just a little bit more and then let it go, letting it relax. Keep breathing deeply, filling the lungs completely, and then exhaling completely. Start to mentally take off all the hats you wear during the week. Clear your mind of all distractions from things you may have been occupied with this morning. Thoughts of the week to come. Items you may be ticking off on your Christmas list of things to do. Just allow yourself to drop into your heart space and open up fully, preparing yourself for whatever it is you are here to receive this morning. Prepare yourself to be a vessel for whatever treasure is awaiting you. For we have all been brought here together for a purpose at this very time in our lives. There are no mistakes. There are no coincidences. This moment has been divinely ordained. Divinely ordained. And so we step forward now, ready to sing the song of our centering, Spirit's Prayer.
Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender.
In the spirit of love and oneness, we now bless the children of the world. Together, children of light, we see you guided and directed by an inward spirit that leads you into the path that is right for you. We see you strong and whole. We see you blessed and prospered. We see you courageous and confident. We see you as the spiritually perfect beings you truly are. Children of light, we bless you. And today's inspiration moment is from 365 Science of Mind, and the word is readiness. I now realize that there is but one mind, one presence in the universe. This presence is God, being everything and filling all space must be in me. I recognize that it is in me, and it is that which I am. I let this recognition of my indwelling divinity flow through my entire consciousness. I let it reach down into the very depths of my being. I rejoice in my divinity. Infinite intelligence governs every move I make. An all-wise counselor accompanies me at all times. The Spirit of the Almighty goes before me. As the light dispels darkness, so this truth, which I now affirm, dissipates all fear. It breaks down every doubt and casts out all uncertainty. It looses every sense of bondage within my mind, stimulates my imagination with the vision of peace, of joy, and of abundance, and directs my will toward the accomplishments of my desires. I will be glad and rejoice in your steadfast love, because you have seen my affliction. You have taken heed of my adversities. That's from the book of Psalms, number 31, verse 7. Let's recite together 3 times our affirmation. Infinite intelligence governs every move I make. I am ready. Infinite intelligence governs every move I make. I am ready. Infinite intelligence governs every move I make. I am ready. I have traveled many moonless nights, cold and weary, with a babe inside, and I wonder what I've done. Holy Father, you have come and chosen me now to carry your Son. I am waiting in a silent prayer. I am frightened by this load I bear, in a world as cold as stone. Must I walk this path alone? Be together, be forever near me, breath of heaven, breath of heaven, light in my darkness, pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, do you wonder as you watch my face if a wiser one should have had my place? But I offer all I am for the mercy of your plan. Help me be strong, help me be, help me. Breath of heaven, hold me together, be forever near me, breath of heaven, breath of heaven, light in my darkness, pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, hold me together, be forever near me, breath of heaven, breath of heaven, light in my darkness, pour over me your holiness, for you are holy. Breath of heaven, breath of heaven, breath of heaven. Oof, give me a minute.
That was a two-tissue song, girl. Two-tissue song. Do you hear me over here?
That song always, always, always moves me. Always, always. It's called Mary's Song. So, decades ago, in one of my first jobs as a single woman taking care of myself, I went for a job interview at a company that managed condominiums and apartment buildings. And I've always been very good at being able to get any job that I wanted. If I decided I wanted a job and I saw it advertised somewhere, I could get that job. So I went to the interview, and the woman who interviewed me was just kind of rattling off every single thing that the job entailed. And my mind is kind of racing listening to it all and thinking, I'm not quite sure I know everything she's talking about, but I know I have a good brain. I know I can figure things out. I'm a quick study. And I know I can do whatever I set my mind to do. And so when she asked me, she said, do you think that's something you could handle? I said, absolutely. Absolutely. And I did. I stayed at that job for, I forget how many years, it was so long ago, but at least 5, 6, 7 years. And I did do very well at that job. And I had a command of it pretty easily and pretty quickly. Later on in life, there were other things that came up, and I just had a knowingness that those jobs, that task before me, was something that I knew I had inside me, even though I probably didn't have details about how things were going to transpire. And probably the most recent, biggest example of that is when I accepted this position as spiritual leader. And I was approached by our own Judy Howard about thinking about taking this on. And we had a conversation. She emailed me first, and then I asked her if we could talk. And we did get together, and we had probably a 45-minute or an hour conversation. I said yes during that conversation. Again, not knowing everything that this would entail, but I had a deep knowingness that my answer should be yes, and that everything I was going to need to do it was inside of me. And I think accepting this position was probably the first time I said yes to something that just seemed so far beyond the pale for me, and I had absolutely no credentials for, other than I lived these unity principles, and they were a part of my life and my beingness and my living. And I proceeded into this with that knowingness, knowing that I was ready. Like our word for the day, readiness. I had a readiness inside me, even though I was absolutely clueless about what was before me. One of our 12 powers is zeal. And I think most of us assume that zeal is something else other than what it really is. I think most of us assume that zeal is this perky, laughing, happy kind of, I think of, what did they call them years ago? And you would hear probably Valley Girls, oh my God, I'm just really excited. And they're just, everybody's at a high fever pitch. And I'm really going, this is just really exciting. And I thought about like when the Beatles first came to the United States, and young girls were just screaming their heads off because they're so excited. I think most of us assume that is zeal, that is enthusiasm. When we're just at this fever pitch about something and we're all over the place because something has excited us, something outside of us is exciting, and we just can't control ourselves. So I guess that is a form of zeal, probably a hyper state of zeal. True zeal is knowing your divinity. True zeal is what I described when I went for that interview, that I knew I was ready. The word enthusiasm, the root of it means God-possessed. God-possessed. That's all enthusiasm is. When you know absolutely, without a doubt, what you are and what everything that you do and say comes from. That's enthusiasm. It's a readiness to step forward, a boldness that says, I've got this. There's a phrase that I use that I first heard from the minister at the first Unity Church I ever went to in Bowie, Maryland, Butch Mosby. And he has a phrase that he uses, "For this I was born." For this I was born. That's that readiness to take something on and take it on fully, because you know you've got it. And I've never forgotten that phrase, even though I probably heard it. Well, that was 14 years ago I joined that church. No, 2002, so 18 years ago. 18 years ago, that stuck with me. So there were times when I was fearful of something that I was getting ready to have to handle, and I would say to myself, for this I was born. For this I was born. And everything, just like in the inspiration moment, all of my doubts and fears, my misgivings, everything went away. For this I was born. I want to read to you again from 365 Science of Mind. I let this recognition of my indwelling divinity flow through my entire consciousness. I let it reach down into the very depths of my being. I rejoice in my divinity. That is enthusiasm. Again, I affirm that the divine presence fills all space, including myself. I am full of God. Therefore, I am filled with light, with a capital L. Infinite intelligence governs every move I make, every move I make. An all-wise counselor accompanies me at all times. The Spirit of the Almighty goes before me. The Spirit of the Almighty goes before me. So before you ever step into whatever it is you're called to do, you've been given everything. The path has been made ready for you. It looses every sense of bondage within my mind, stimulates my imagination with the vision of peace, of joy, and of abundance, and directs my will towards the accomplishments of my desires. I am filled with light. Infinite intelligence governs every move I make. I am full of God. I am full of God. That is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm comes from within, from that God possession that we all have. Everything else out here is extraneous. It has nothing to do with the God possession. Most of us hang on to enthusiasm about something outside of us. When you've already got this spark, this fire inside of you that's fueling everything that you do. And your consciousness stokes that fire. This, what you're thinking, what your beingness, what you believe about who and what you are, and what this task has for you, is the fuel for that fire. You were born with the spark. The fire was already there. Nobody had to give you anything. Nobody. In fact, before you were born, the spark that is you lived and burns. And I believe that that same spark will remain after your body is long gone. The spark that is you. So here we are again with this challenge to remember what we have inside of us. And it's actually more than that. It's not just inside of you. It fills all space. It is you. You are full of God. There's no dark spaces. There's no void where God is not. God is omnipresent, omniscient. You have that same divine wisdom at your fingertips. So whenever you step forward into a situation, you should know, for this I was born. And when you have doubts, you remind yourself that I am full of God. And the Spirit of God has gone before me in this moment and prepared it for me. A friend said to me after I told them I accepted this position, "What are you going to talk about every week?" Oh my God, if I had to think about speaking every single week, that would stress me out. But I knew that I didn't have to think about what to talk about each week. I knew that if I was called to this, Spirit had something for me to say every week. And Spirit does. And in the moments when I go a little haywire because I think I haven't heard Sunday's message yet, often on Saturday night, I remind myself, for this I was born. For this I was born. And the message will come when the message has to come out. I don't need it Saturday evening. I need it Sunday morning at about 11:15. I don't know what 11:20, 11:25, 11:30 sounds like yet. I don't. And when we are each vessels, open vessels, saying, I know I am filled with God, you know it's right there. And so every Sunday, I get to walk in here and have this phenomenal experience where I feel this come through me. All of us have that. All of us have that. And it shows up in different ways. It shows up in whatever you are called to do and whatever work that you do. In a moment, when you hear Spirit say, do that, you were called for that. And you were given the perfect words, the perfect action, the perfect whatever, beingness, energy, consciousness for that moment. It's all there already. And I think I've said this before. Now that I'm almost 3 years in, I keep thinking some days, well, this has got to run out. Maybe I hit the quota. 52 times 3. 150 some days, 160 days. 160 times I stepped forward, not knowing what was going to come out of my mouth, but knowing it was going to be perfect because I knew I was full of divine intelligence, and it was directing every single sound that came out of my mouth. Every note that I sang just now came from Spirit. And there are so many singers who know when we get this emotion that rises up within us, you know that something was singing through you. And my prayer for you is that each of you knows and has those moments and has them often during the week. That it fills your day, that there are some moments the hair stands up on you because you know that this God possession has just spoken, has just moved in your life. And you know that there's no separation between you and that God energy, that you are that God energy. It should move you. God is energy. It's not still. All of us have it. I'm not special in that. We all have that gift. But we have to know it and remind ourselves, because in this, our human existence, we forget. Because we're on that hamster wheel. We're just getting through the day sometimes. We want to get stuff done. We often talk about that everything is a holy moment. Everything is a holy moment. Every minute of the day, every single second of the day is a holy moment. And it can be if our awareness is where it should be. if our consciousness is where it should be, there's a gospel song with lyrics that say, I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Jesus. We should wake up each morning with your mind stayed on that divinity. This is not just another day. So when I hear things like, oh, I hate Monday. When's Friday coming? Is it Friday yet? We're wishing away life. How many of I've said that probably 1,000 times in my life. Oh, I wish it were the weekend. And I only wish that because I was waking up so unaware of how blessed each moment is. And that I am truly God-possessed. God-possessed. And that I am vibrating with that divinity. One of my favorite affirmations is that every single cell of my body is positively singing with vibrant health. Is singing with that God intelligence, that divine intelligence that moves through me. That's part of my exercise for the day. Part of my taking care of myself is to keep my consciousness where it needs to be, especially in this time we have now with this pandemic and the virus all over the place. It's part of my health plan, is keeping my consciousness right. Because I know if my consciousness is in the right place, nothing can touch me. Nothing can harm me. Nothing can harm me. But your consciousness has to be there. People have had what they call spontaneous healings because their consciousness got in the right place. Their consciousness got in the right place. And then they go back and they have another test. They have another X-ray. They have another MRI, and the doctors are thinking, well, it's not there. We can't explain it. Because we're God-possessed. And when you know that you are God-possessed, when you have that, you're aware of that enthusiasm within you, that spark, that fire that's lit all the time, you don't need anything else. You don't need anything from outside of you to say, go get them. You go, girl. You've got this. You should know automatically, for this I was born at this moment, right here, right now. I was born for this. Last July, when I was in Houston, July of 2019, I was in a class, and during that week, I just wanted to be anonymous. I just wanted to be a student and not have to think about being spiritual leader. I didn't want to have to be in that space, that energy, but it kept being, I kept being called to it. And I was having a tantrum in my mind. And during one of the classes, it came up again. And I was kind of emotional about it because I kept saying, I just want a break. Can I just be in the back of the class and quiet? But it wasn't to be. And so I was sitting with the teacher. We were in breakout sessions, and I was sitting with the teacher, and we were talking about something. And she said, what can I pray for you? And I asked for prayer that I could step into being a spiritual leader and grow in that, in this energy that I'm called to be in as fully as I can. And she grabbed my hands and she said, you are already ordained. I said, I haven't completed my ministry classes. She said, doesn't matter. You are already ordained. And I just wept in front of her. She said, you were ordained before anybody gives you any piece of paper, before any classes are completed. You were ordained the moment you were called to this. Man, that was a moment for me. All of us are ordained for every moment of our lives. Ordained, the root of that word also comes from order, the same root that we talked about last week. You know, we have that phrase, you wish all your ducks were in a row. And the ducks are never in a row. Right? Mine are always scrambling around, quacking at each other, feathers up in the air. Except when I realize that I am God-possessed. When I come back to that realization. In fact, I no longer need a row of ducks. All I need is the moment in front of me. All I need is the moment that I'm in now. And the knowledge that I am God-possessed. That's all we need, is the moment here and now, and the knowledge that you are God-possessed. That this fire burns within you. That the fire burns within you. It's all we need. That centering song that we sing at the beginning of service is a song about that. All I need is here and now. Where there's error, let me love. Yeah, loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. This is my divinity. Yeah, this energy that I am, that my skin can't even hold in. That is your divinity. This consciousness that can affect people on the other side of the planet when you think of them, when you pray for them. God-possessed. Yeah, as within, so without. The fire's already lit. Already lit. Nothing can blow it out. The fuel, the fire is infinite, as God is infinite. My prayer is that you know that and you live from that. Live from it. Know that in each moment you are guided and directed. That every word you speak is holy. Every act that comes from you is a holy act. Nothing can harm you. Nothing can harm you. So know that zeal is your power, and that you don't have to bounce around happy and giddy to be enthusiastic. That you have a boldness, an audacity, a readiness within you for whatever comes up and for whatever is happening right now. And when you're losing it, when you're not sure, when the doubts and the fears start to scramble into your consciousness, take a breath of heaven like Mary did. Hold me together. Be forever near me. Mary, in a moment, had to remind herself that she was God-possessed. then she said yes. 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 Yes to this moment. So say yes and say it boldly. Say it knowing who and what you are. Yes. You say it with power and with might. For this I was born. Yes. Let's take this into meditation. Let's breathe in. Just breathe, 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 breathe. Knowing that each breath is divine. And that there is physical breath, and there is energetic breath, there is divine breath, there is life. Life that courses through you. That is not physical. It's mystical. It's magical. It's magnificence. And you are that power. We have no separation from God. You were lit by God. You were lit up as an expression of God. Rejoice in your divinity. Let's just breathe. Rejoicing in our divinity. Breathe in. Hold that breath, knowing that every single cell of your body positively sings with zeal, with life, with vibrant health. With vibrant health in mind, body, spirit, and heart. You are full of God. Nothing can separate you from it. Nothing can harm you. As we stay in this consciousness that we are God-possessed. And so visualize yourself in this moment lit by that divine energy. Lit as that divine energy. A fire with infinite fuel, burning bright, burning brilliantly for all to see and feel. And this energy, this loving, healing energy that you are, has power to shift your world, your universe, and the world at large. So let's see this energy that we are, brilliantly shining in these bodies that we carry through this life. And as you see yourself lit brilliantly, you see that same light flowing outside of you, emanating everywhere. blessing everything that you come in contact with, blessing everything, everyone that you think of. With our power of zeal, we now send out loving energy to all those who may not be aware of their divinity. Knowing that we have more than enough for ourselves and all those that we are called to be a blessing to. The river doesn't run dry. The fire cannot be extinguished. Energy cannot be destroyed. Keep breathing deeply, fully, breathing in light, exhaling light. Blessing yourself, knowing that you are blessed, affirming your brilliance, your magnificence. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Fearfully and wonderfully made. And with hearts full of gratitude now, we say yes again. Yes. We rejoice in and give thanks for our divinity. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. So while we're in this prayerful energy, let's now pray for those who we carry in our hearts and minds.
Tess and her family.
For Tess and her family. For Cece, yes. Reba and Eddie. For Beverly. For Kim and Jesse. For the Vizcarra family.
For this sanctuary. Very special. And for you. Yes.
Thank you. For Judy Howard and family. For Lola.
You know, Kim, I think that all of us from the old group of the membership of this church will always be grateful to Judy Howard for bringing you to us.
Yes.
I am grateful to her too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll never forget. And she called me and said, Cece, I met this woman.
Yeah, I'm deeply grateful for Judy.
Always be grateful to her.
For Dorothy.
Yes.
That all of us are aware of our spark
Yes.
and shine brightly.
And for Jerry and Jan.
Mhm. For Jim and for Robin. For Alexine and family. For the Thomas family. for the Greenfield family, the Wortham family, for Bob and Glenda Inman.
Dr. Masood and Dr. Ollie, they're a married couple that are in practice right now.
For all those who are healing, who've been diagnosed with COVID-19 or any other illness, for all those who are in search of healing, praying and wishing for healing, we now send them loving, healing energy. For all those who struggle, who mourn, who grieve. So for all of these names, all of these beloved souls, and all those who we have not named but who remain in our hearts and minds on a daily basis, we know that they are whole, perfect, and complete. And within them also is that divine spark, that fire within. And we now affirm that their highest and best is at work in their lives. And we offer this prayer in the name and in the nature of Jesus the Christ, our brother and way shower. Amen. So let's say our offering prayer together. Divine love in me blesses and multiplies all the good that I am and have, all the good that I give and receive, and so it is. Children sleeping, snow is softly falling. Dreams are calling like bells in the distance. We were dreamers not so long ago, but one by one we all had to grow up. When it seems the magic slipped away, we find it all again on Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying. Hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste. There's so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside and give your dreams the wings to fly. You have everything you need if you just believe. Trains move quickly to their journey's end, and destinations are where we begin again. Ships go sailing far across the sea, trusting the starlight to get where they need to be. And when it seems that we have lost our way, find ourselves again on Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying. Hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste. There's so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside and give your dreams the wings to fly. You'll have everything you need if you just believe. If you just believe. If you just believe. Just believe. Believe in what your heart is saying. Hear the melody. Believe. Believe in what you feel inside. Give your dreams wings and You think the point is just believe? So, our announcements. Let's bless the offering first. We are deeply grateful for all the time, treasure, and talent that flows into this community, for all of the loving energy that shows up as each of you that blesses this place, that helps it to grow and thrive, and to send out a message of peace, joy, love, and prosperity across the planet. Amen. So we had elections, and I want to say congratulations to Pete Fuentes and Jan Collins, who are our two new board members. I'm very proud to welcome you into this, our leadership team. I know Jan is watching. Hello, Jan. And thank you both for stepping up to serve this community even more than you are now. Both of you are already so involved in what we do. And the present board is just thrilled to have you joining us. So we're excited about what's going to happen. And I thank you to all the voting members that sent in their ballots. We had 39% of our voting members who sent in ballots, and you were both elected unanimously. So, yeah, nothing but yes votes. So next Sunday, we're going to have a board member induction ceremony, and we're going to Zoom in Jan from home so that she can be a part of the ceremony as well. And thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So much. Thank you, Jan. I am honored and very moved that you have said yes to this. So you got all you got within you to do this. Yes.
You were born for this.
That's right.
For this you were born. Yeah. Yeah. Next Sunday is Membership Sunday. That's December 20. So if you're ready to be a voting member, so if you were unable to vote in this election because you're not a voting member, then you need to join. Because then you get to help decide who steps forward into leadership and to make some other decisions for our community as we move forward day by day. So email me if you want to be a member next week, if you want to join officially as a voting member next week. Remember, you are all a part of the family once you walk through that door or start watching us online. And we're blessed to have you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now we have the prayer for protection. I almost said possession. God possession. Let's recite together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And let us stand now in all of our power, knowing that we are lit from within, brilliant lights in this world. And together we recite our vision and mission. We are Unity Spiritual Center Saxe. We are a thriving global community of spiritual seekers, transforming lives through love and the expression of our innately divine gifts. Our mission is to inspire spiritual and personal growth through the teaching and demonstration of unity principles toward the realization of living our best lives. Divine wisdom is at work in every area of our lives right now. Divine wisdom is opening ways where, to our human sense, there is no way. Everything is always working out for me. So thank you very much for joining us this Sunday morning. We are blessed by your presence and your energy. Have a wonderful, wonderful day and a glorious week. Namaste.